Hi guys, hope you're well. So today's video, as the title probably suggests, is a current favourites video. I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is the third time I've filmed this video. The first time I did it in my bedroom, and my bedroom is kind of like the greenhouse of my home. It is at the top of the house, the sun streams in to video back, and it was basically a dollop of goo telling you what they've been like in this month. And I thought, you guys don't tune in to look at goo and slime. So I then reshot it last night and thought, I'll do it in the garden, that'll be pretty, that'll be kind of topical because it's summer and we've actually got some sun. I thought that'd be lovely for you guys to see. Played it back and you could hear lawn mowers, the traffic nearby, people at the pub and a screaming baby, and also a bee actually. So I had to scrap that again. So awesome. So today, whatever happens, you will be seeing this, even if it's absolute tosh. I apologise. Anyway, let's get on with it. So first up, I want to talk about Nourish Beauty Prop. Good start. First, I want to talk about the Nourish Beauty box, and it's one of these subscription boxes that you can get each month. This one concentrates on beauty, but mostly... Oh, okay. Back to what I was saying. So it's one of these subscription boxes. It concentrates on beauty products, mostly skin products, and it was founded by a lady who has sensitive skin, and she was really wanting to kind of locate and discover brands that would work for her skin wise, and thought, you know, she's not going to be the only one with sensitive skin that wants to seek out brands that are maybe natural, without kind of all the dodgy extras that a lot of things come with. As natural as possible, without any kind of artificial elements, cruelty-free, etc. So they got in contact with me actually and said, would you like to try out one of our months? So this is a July offering, and it comes with this eco-friendly tote bag, which is unique each month with you know, a bespoke design on each month. Can you see that? There you go. And so inside this one we have an organic pharmaceuticals Nourish Me Frowns to Smiles facial serum, and it's USDA organic, cruelty free. It is for all skin types. It's enriched with evening primrose, jojoba oil, argan oil, I love argan oil, rosehip oil, mushroom and goji berry, and will not clog your pores because it's just light and greasy. So there's that serum inside, which I'm looking forward to trying. I can't try it now because I'm sampling something else at the moment for review purposes, and I don't like to kind of mix it up so I can give an accurate review. Also inside we have a perfume, Mademoiselle Swell. So that's a little roll-on thing that you can just give yourself a freshen up, which is kind of key in this weather, let me tell you. I was on the underground today and a lot of people could be doing with some Mademoiselle Swell. But my favourite thing inside was this Kabuki brush by Seraphim Botanicals, and it literally is the softest thing you've ever felt. Well, you've not felt it yet, but it's the softest thing I've ever felt. And I just like stroking myself with it. I almost don't want to use it because it's so like fresh and new and perfect, but I know it's going to be really good, so that will become my new favourite blusher brush, I think. So each month you get, I think it's 3 or 4 products. You pay 33, I'll put the exact figures down because my brain is, like I said, mashed potato. But the products you get, you pay for each month. You get products worth at least double that. So if you're spending, whatever, $33 a month, you'll probably be getting products $70 plus. I think this box actually was worth $142. Obviously, if I was a subscriber, I would have only paid $33. You get that feeling of excitement every month, going, oh, what's going to come in my box? And you'll be discovering new brands and finding ones that are perhaps really good for you, for your skin, but also helping you, you know, seek out those cruelty-free brands, those natural brands, etc. Possible downside is obviously every month you don't know what you're getting, so some months will be suited to you and maybe some months will be less exciting to you and maybe less suitable for you. But that's kind of the gamble you take, and that's half the fun. So it's up to you whether you want to give that a go, I guess. Next up, another beauty product, and this is Precision Contouring by Collection, and it's this little contouring stick that you just go like that wherever you want to contour, and I've been using it just with my fingers, just rubbing it in, and it blends so easily. I found a brush works just as well too, so whatever your preference is. I feel like this is a foolproof way to contour. I feel like if you're a fool like me in the makeup department and not that skilled at application or anything like that, you'll still be able to create a really good look with this one. And obviously it's Collection, so it's very affordable. I don't think it's more than £5. I think it's about £4.99. About £4.99. Food wise, it's party rings. I go through a party ring phase every few years. It's like I forget about party rings for a while, and then I'll go to something, maybe a kid's party or a christening or some sort of event, and they got party rings out, and then I'm like, oh my god, I love party rings, and then I go on a mad hunt to find party rings. But these days you can get ones that are vegetarian, but I think you can also get ones for vegans. I think these ones are the vegetarian ones. So there's natural colours derived from fruit and vegetables, no artificial flavours or preservatives. I don't know if it's just because I'm bigger, but I feel like they are smaller than they used to be, and I feel like the colours are a bit dimmer, not as vibrant, but that's probably because they're not artificial anymore and probably a lot better for me. But they're still yummy, so yeah. Clothes wise, my first item is this t-shirt. Now what does K stand for, do you think? Crazy. No, it's Kellerman's. So I went to the Dirty Dancing Secret Cinema this week. Now I'm not going to go into what I thought about it because I'm going to write a review on my blog. There were some really fun aspects to it though, and some things that could have been a lot better. But either way, if you go to something like that with your best pals and you watch a film like Dirty Dancing, you're still going to have a lovely time. And I couldn't resist getting myself this Kellerman's t-shirt. If you haven't seen the film, Kellerman's is where it's all based. It's this kind of holiday, not holiday camp, like holiday resort, shall we say. And I love anything that's like members club, anything that's got like little emblems, yeah, anything like that. And I like the maroon and kind of mustard colourway. So that would probably be like a sleepy, lounging at home type t-shirt. So guys, since we last spoke, my camera stopped working because it said it was too hot, and a bee has come in the room. Yeah, it might make a noise, it might sting me, you know, it's all going on. But I shall persevere. Oh, this is unbearably hot. Okay, next up, this item from Clinique. It was sent to me this week by the people at Fenwick because they're selling it exclusively in store now. And this is the Clinique Super City Block BB Cushion Compact. I'll just show you it quickly there. So it's got one of these spongy bits and then the cushiony bit below. You'll probably have seen quite a few brands have come out with the cushiony technology at the moment. It seems like the hot new thing. I was very eager to try it out because it's quite different to what I usually gravitate towards. Obviously I always think I need full coverage foundation, something that comes in a pump or a tube probably. I wouldn't think that something like this would do the job for me and cover my blemishes and scarring and stuff. But I've been using it for the last 3 days and I am pretty blown away already. It's very easy to apply. It creates quite a nice dewy coverage, which at first I was like, oh no, I don't do dewy, because I try and mattify myself as much as possible because I'm quite shiny, and I always think if you're shiny it kind of draws attention to your bumps. But I persevered and carried on doing my usual makeup routine with this dewy BB underneath, and I ended up with a really nice youthful complexion. And actually I realised that it is more beneficial to me to have this kind of more dewy texture than the really matte, almost kind of cakey finish. But what has surprised me most about this is its longevity. I apply it in the morning and it seems to last throughout the day. Like I came back after a day in London, 30-degree heat, sweating buckets, and everything was still intact. I don't know what this magic is, but it's working for me, so give it a go even if you're a bit skeptical about it. It's £30. Next up, this is a phone case. I know it's not very exciting, but if you are accident prone plonker like me, this is something you really should invest in, and this is by Gear for Black. It's Icebox Shock, and it's with D3O World Beacon Protection. I don't know what D3O is, but it sounds great. It's military standard and exceeds a 9-foot drop tested. Yeah, I don't want any smash phones. I can't afford to get a new phone. I don't like the faff of having to get screens fixed and stuff. So for me, this has become a must-have item. Another beauty product, and this is a brow coat. A lot of you will know about lip coat, and that's a product that kind of seals in your colour, your lipstick. And this is the same idea. You put it on your brows after you've used your pomade or gel or powder, whatever you use to kind of colour or fill in your brows, and this just keeps it in place throughout the day. It's waterproof, so if you get caught in the rain, your brows aren't going to like go off. At the Tarzan premiere, I managed to achieve those kind of celebrity legs, is what I call them, showbiz stems. They're like those shiny, unrealistically kind of shiny legs that you see celebrities having on the red carpet. You're like, how are your legs that smooth? And I've realised that they're probably dousing themselves in this sort of stuff. And this is Evolve Organic Beauty Satin Leg Gloss. So you just put it on your legs, and it just adds a nice kind of shimmery effect. It makes it look like you've done a really perfect shave, which I never have. Mine are always blotchy, raised, a bit rashy, or a bit like chalky. And this has got Camellia Bisabolol and gold sparkle in it, and it's 99% natural, which is a bonus. My nail varnish of the month is this quick dry speedy nail paint by Barry M in the colour Dead Heat Bright Red. And I wore this to the premiere too. I just think it's that perfect kind of bold red. I just love it, and it does dry rather quickly. As you guys know, I've struggled with insomnia for many years. I'm actually in quite a good zone or good period of my life in terms of sleeping. I'm actually getting some, so getting some sleep, I mean, not getting some. And I think a lot of that is down to me making sure I work through things that used to kind of consume my head a lot. So if I have a problem, I'm more inclined to talk about it these days. I will, rather than stew on it and dwell on it, I'll speak to the person, or I'll try and sort it out. And another thing I've been doing is writing in a pad and writing the things that are on my mind, whether it be kind of emotional stuff or me just trying to remember, oh, I need to do that, or I need to reply to that email. And I've been writing in this, and this is by Bravado, and I'm sure you know that very iconic logo already. You might think this is a little bit of an odd one, but I thought I'd mention it anyway. But at Dirty Dancing Secret Cinema, you weren't allowed to bring your phone, and you weren't allowed to bring cameras or take pictures, because they want to keep that mystery, that secret aspect of the thing. But you could buy little disposable cameras when you're there. And I've got to say, buying a camera and using a camera like this, it felt really fun and quite thrilling, because we're so used to having everything like instantaneous. You can see a picture straight away, that you don't have that suspense and that thing to look forward to that you used to get. I used to love at the end of a holiday, you know, waiting to get the pictures back from the developers, and then you all looking through them together and go, oh, do you remember that? And I really miss that actually when I think about it. So I'm really looking forward to getting these developed. I'm sure they're going to be absolute tosh, but it's still going to be nice to have that kind of thrill again. I don't know, maybe I need to get a life. So another fun thing from this month, I went to a press event last week with Schwarzkopf and Got to Be, and they did braids and stuff in our hair, but they also gave the opportunity to have a quick DJ lesson, learn how to use Logic and to create songs and some other stuff. And it was at the Academy of Electronic Music Sub-Bass, and I had a quick lesson in DJing. Now, I had lessons when I was at school actually, because one of my school friends was a DJ, and I used to go to his house and he'd give me some lessons. And this was in the days where you had 2 records, you were mixing them, there wasn't any Macs or anything. It was very old school kind of DJing. But it was very interesting to try it with more up-to-date equipment, and that was really fun. I can't afford to do a whole course, but if you do, the teachers seemed very nice, and it was a fun thing to have another go at. So yeah. This brush from Primark that I've been using for my concealer, it's not a very interesting favourite, but I've got to say, it's it's surprisingly good considering it was only £1. So they're impressed with that, and obviously it's rose gold, which, you know, it's a blogger's dream, isn't it, rose gold. This camera is not coping at all well in this heat, so I've got to just blitz through the rest. This jumper I've got, I'm not sure where you get it. This was another item that I was given, but it's a Ramones jumper, and I just love that it's just a mild kind of sweatshirt, leisure vibe, and I think it's a really kind of subtle, nice way to do merch, because sometimes you don't want to be so in your face, and I think this just goes with pretty much everything, and it's become my new favourite jumper, really. Super comfy too. Quickly, let's talk about TV. This programme I finished watching ages ago, but I think I forgot to mention it, and this is Master of None, starring Aziz Ansari. Some of you will know the actor, comedian from Parks and Recreation. He's very much about observational comedy, self-deprecation. He's quite an endearing character, and this series is about a 30-year-old actor living in New York, and it's about his love life, but also his friends' relationships and what they're going through, whether it's settling down, having kids. It's just very light-hearted, it's a very easy watch. And you just end up smiling, and you can relate to some of the things as well. Well, I can, because, you know, similar age. I also like that he used his actual parents to play his parents in the show as well, because they're terrible actors, but it doesn't matter because it's just quite funny to watch them, you know, talking together. Yeah, it's just fun. You'll know what I mean if you've seen it. Finished series 2 of Bloodlines, and it was just as stressful as the first one. And annoyingly, I didn't know that a third series had already been commissioned, so I was expecting it to be like wrapped up, neatly completed, and to have some kind of conclusion. But no, I've been left on a bit of a cliffhanger, so I've got to wait again for the next season. But it's a really thrilling watch, so I really recommend that. Music-wise, quickly, Def Havana have a really good new single out. They've been gone for a little while, but last time I saw them, which was a few weeks ago, they were saying how, you know, pumped and excited they were about their new music, and I can see why they were so like beaming and so proud, because this is a pretty kick-ass way to come back. It's called Sing. It's got one of those choruses that is right up my street. It's that happy, sad kind of chord progression, slightly minor but still uplifting. You know how The Killers' Mr. Brightside is kind of a really happy song, but at the same time slightly melancholy, slightly sad, because you want to sing along, but at the same time you end up thinking about memories, about things that have happened. It's that sort of vibe, and that's right up my street. Obviously, Young Guns, I'm probably a bit biased, but I still think banging tune, and that's Mad World, and obviously it seems very timely and very apt right now to come out with a song called Mad World. But it's not my favourite of the album. My favourite is the title of the album, that's Echoes, so I really can't wait for you guys to hear that track. So make sure you pre-order the album now. It's called Echoes, if I didn't say that already. And Somebody Else by 1975, and I have to admit that I felt quite alone, because their latest album didn't really grab me as much as I thought it would. It hasn't been as instant with me. I kind of have neglected it, to be honest, which is weird, because I thought every single they released I was like, that's a tune, that's brilliant, like amazing music, amazingly strong songs. But I just wasn't connecting with it. I think the lyrics weren't connecting with me until Somebody Else came out, and I watched that video and I completely connected to it and to what Matty is saying in the song, and I think the video is brilliant, and it's now made me go back to that album and I'm appreciating it again in a new way. So that's the power of a good single. But yeah, stunning track, love it. Also Thrice's latest album has been getting a lot of plays. Oh, and an artist that I watched doing acoustic on the Glastonbury coverage, the song was Black Dahlia, I can't remember her name, but I'll put it down here. Beautiful voice, I'm sure she's going to be quite big. I've been enjoying Daughter a lot this month too. Oh, brain's gone blank, but that's a few, isn't it? You've got enough to get stuck into there, I think. Yeah. Right, I've really got to wrap this up before the camera probably explodes or sets itself on fire. I don't know how this video's turned out, whether it's viewable or just a mess, but anyway, I've done it, that's the main thing. I hope you're well, and tune in soon for another video that will be hopefully a bit smoother than this one. Take care, bye.